Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. I'm sitting here with an early copy thanks to Capcom of the PC version of Monster Hunter World. I know there's already some media previews out there of people just checking out the game. Reviews obviously won't be up until the game is released and the embargo is lifted, so this is just kind of like a preview, just checking it out and seeing what we've got. A lot of people are putting up videos of it in max settings, and I wanted to do a video showing what it looks like on the lowest settings because I know not everybody has a tank of a PC, and maybe you've been waiting for this game and you don't have a console and you don't have a very good PC, but you do meet the minimum specs. So we're going to see what that possibly looks like. Of course, keep in mind that everybody's PC is different, environment's different, the program configuration is different, so my experience may not necessarily be yours. I'm also doing this test on a beefy computer, which you can see the specs for in the description down below, so my case is going to be a little bit special. Anyways, let's go ahead and turn off the VSync. Let's go into graphical settings and set this to low. If you go under the optional stuff, you notice we can actually lower the texture quality even more. And I'm going to do that. And we're just going to go as low as we can go. You notice we have no anti-aliasing, so it's going to be pixelated. The two things that I notice affect quality the most is resolution scaling. If you can afford to put this up there, and then a little bit of anti-aliasing is really good. No foliage, everything off or low, this is going to be a good test. I am going to be doing this in 1080p even though I have a 1440p monitor. I am going to put this at frame rate of 60, but you could put it to 30, but it's going to look like it does on the console, so you guys already know what that does. And no limit, if you have a really beefy processor, you can do it and have more than 60 frames per second if your monitor supports it. Phew! Okay. Now let's go into the game and check it out, shall we? This is the town of Astra. As you can see, they did a very good job of having a pretty skybox, but nothing moving, nothing really ambient. Just going to do a little tour up here. I gotta admit, it looks really good even on low settings. Like, I'm pretty impressed. Set up to the Gathering Hub. I haven't checked that area out yet. We get our little intro scene here. I'm curious, so let me know down in the comments, like, if you're getting the PC version, is it because you don't have a console? Is it because you have a console but you want a more, you have a high-end PC and you want to have a high-end experience? Like, I'm sure there's all sorts of different people out there, so let me know down in the comments below if you're getting the PC version and why. This is what the hall looks like. Looks pretty good. But let's go back out down to the trade yard. Let's go on an expedition to a few different areas so that we can see what they look like, and then we're going to turn on a few options and I can show you some different ways that you might be able to tweak your experience. So I think a good area to go to, obviously, Coral Highlands is as far as I've gotten so far, so I will show that. Wildspire honestly will look pretty good no matter what your settings are. Let's go into the Ancient Forest because there's a lot of different foliage, a lot of different environmental things going on there, and see what it looks like. If you notice, I am playing on an SSD that is very fast. It's an M.2 with over a gigabyte of read and write speed, so things load up really fast, at least for me. And if you're coming into this without seeing what the game can look like on high settings, this game actually looks really good on low settings, like, I gotta admit. Looks nice. Got good draw distance over there. The foliage looks good. The textures look pretty good. Now, there are a few different settings you can tweak with while you're in the game. So let's go ahead and toggle a few of them so you can see how that affects the experience. So take a look at that foliage over here. Let's go into options. Go over here to advanced graphical settings, and we can start messing with stuff. So if you look at the ground and stuff like that, you'll notice there are some slight differences when it comes to resolution scaling. And that's going to come in handy when we turn on anti-aliasing. But let's turn on foliage. You notice everything is starting to sway now. Oops. Let me turn that on so you can see what that looks like. Definitely makes the game world feel more alive. So I think if you can afford it, it is one good thing to add in there. Great Jagras come into play. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's go see what the large monsters look like with such horrible resolution scaling. So you can see how they've managed to simplify them, but still keep them looking really good. Oofa. So, I mean, as you see, like, graphics are great for immersion, but honestly, even with low settings, the game plays really good, because it is just a really good game. I mean, graphics aren't everything. Here it is on the highest graphical settings. Now, this is the daytime, not the nighttime, which is an unfair comparison, but you can see the texture in the skin. You really get a feeling for the material of its hide and everything like that. So, it's all those nice little touches and finesse, but it's not everything. Because when you look at the low settings, it's still a very good looking game and very functional and fun to play. You guys want to see some nice stun file effects? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's do a little bit more of a walking tour, then I'm going to show off the Coral Highlands. I mean, much better than you expected, I'm sure, right? It'll be interesting to see how this performs on a low-end machine, though. Again, mine is a very high-end machine, so if I was to unlock the frame rate, I'd be well over 145 frames per second because of the low processing power needed for this. Yeah, overall looking really good. So let me show you the anti-aliasing, that thing I was talking about. So if we turn anti-aliasing on now, the resolution is actually pretty low on the textures, so it's going to stand out even more. So let's go ahead and just turn on a little bit of anti-aliasing here. Again, that just means that it smooths out the jaggies in the resolution. Maybe YouTube compression will screw with this and make it look even better than it is, but it looks pretty fuzzy to me. So if we go ahead here and if we want to tweak it a little bit, I do notice that if we change the resolution scaling to high, the game now looks far better. So yeah, anti-aliasing and resolution, if you can handle it, great. If not, maybe just the resolution it would be a good option to put in. See what that looks like with no anti-aliasing. Yeah, it's not bad. Now I imagine there's going to be people who will do very thorough investigations of all these options. That's not really what I'm aiming for right now. So let's go ahead and put this back onto the lowest possible settings. Check it out. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So let's return from this expedition and let's head over to the Coral Highlands so you can see what that looks like, because that's an area with a lot of particle effects and a lot of different very fine textures that I think stand out more when you have that anti-aliasing and the graphics set to low. Okay, and here we are in the Coral Highlands. Pew! It's amazing you don't break your legs as you go down there. Again, it looks pretty good if you ask me. I think it's just a testament to the artistic quality of the original assets that even with low quality, things look pretty good, at least in my opinion. Again, I haven't seen all the game, and this isn't a review by any means. This is just sort of checking it out and I'm giving it a preview. Monster Hunter World is a great game, so it's going to be great no matter how you play it, I think. Okay, now we're going to check out the game on highest settings. You can probably hear my computer because it does make your computer roar a little bit, and it's really hot in Japan right now, so it's not the best optimal conditions for running a PC hot. We're going to go ahead and leave this at 1080p because that is the video that we've been shooting, but you can push this thing to 1440p or even 4K if you have a monitor. I'm going to leave the frame rate at 60 even though we can comfortably go above it because of my specs. And the VSync on, and the graphical settings will set to highest, which will just pretty much max out everything, or at least very close to max. Let's go ahead and check out just a little bit. I mean, I'll be showing off some more previews on my channel as we go ahead towards launch, so, you know, sort of show you guys off the game. The point of this video was really to show you guys off the lowest settings, not the highest. But it is good to have that comparison. So here is what Astra looks like when we have nice settings. So let's head over to the Ancient Forest and the Coral Highlands just so you can get a little bit of comparison, because that's what we just looked at with the lowest settings. I am very happy that the load times are still really fast even with everything on max, at least on my computer. I'm sure my config helps with all of that though. Here is what the Ancient Forest looks like with all the bells and whistles, so to say. It's like taking the resolution priority and the graphics priority and the frame rate priority and just putting them to max. So yeah, it's not going to feel like a completely different game, but it's going to look really nice. I mean, this looks fantastic if you ask me. Textures on the monsters are looking really good. Sorry, I can't help but hit it. Again, the point of this video is really to show off the lowest settings, not the highest. I will do a few more previews as we get closer to launch, and then you guys can look forward to my more thorough review once the game comes out. Again, I just got this preview build from Capcom, so I've just been checking it out a little bit, and I just wanted to show off a little preview to you guys. Yeah, so everything just looking really polished and really fine. Okay, and here's Coral Highlands. If you notice, just all that atmosphere, the mist, the moving elements, the anti-aliasing, and the textures really come together to create a really nice overall feel for the world. This is probably the most atmospheric of the maps, at least in my opinion of the game, so I'm happy I was able to get this far so I can sort of compare them. I am the type of guy who values quietness, so I think when I play this, I'm more likely to put it to high settings, only because my PC runs it a little bit more quiet if I do that versus highest. But again, if you have better cooling solutions, I'm sure it'll be better for you guys as well. Yep, and this is Coral Highlands at highest graphical fidelity. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little video showing off the graphics. Hopefully it's helping to educate you guys a little bit more about what this product might look like. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, happy hunting.